Amy said this is going to be a funny episode, so I'm looking forward to what she's bringing to the podcast today.
It's only gonna be funny if you make it funny.
Well, I don't know. You're pretty funny. I'll try to make it
Not that
funny,
funny.
but she just says this is going to be a funny podcast. I said, all right, let's do it. I love fun.
I just threw in the word funny because if I say funny, then Nick's like, "Oh, I like to
I
be funny.
like it.
I
Yeah,
like it. It's
I
a little
like
more lighthearted." I don't know. Maybe it won't be. Maybe we'll actually get into some real stuff, and you're like, "That was not lighthearted."
it. Was that
That was
not what I
not
was
what I was
expecting?
expecting.
No. All right, let's. Amy,
You
what
must
is
be slouching. I look like taller than you today.
you are? What's going on? Sure. Yeah, Amy's okay.
I
Now we're
grew.
good. Now
I
we're good.
grew overnight. Um,
Like shrinking.
Probably should have taken a survey on this one. Do you feel like?
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm sorry. You can chime in after by sending us an email or messaging us. And hey, before we even dive, well, we're gonna talk about princess treatment, prince treatment, and bare minimum in marriage. Because if you're on social media, you've seen a lot of those viral posts. They're kind of funny, but they have some really depth in that conversation too. So I think it'll be a good podcast. But before we start, I think we need to talk about the fork thing.
The fork thing. Oh man. Okay, if you listen to podcasts, probably several episodes ago, I don't know which one. I don't remember who, but
Oh, it was a couple back.
if you listen to it, a lot of you have messaged us with great advice on how the forks and spoons and everything need to be placed in the dishwasher.
I didn't think we'd get
And
that much feedback.
oh, I didn't either.
It's hilarious.
But I will say, most of it has been in favor of Amy. So I feel like,
I
um,
I feel like they were more half and half than I thought. But even the people that were on your side was like, I could see where she's coming from, which was nice. Thanks, guys.
so what did I say yesterday to you in the backyard when we were outside?
You won.
I said, "You won, babe.
I wasn't trying
I'm
to
gonna
win.
have to change my ways."
He changes his ways when other people tell him things, and then he
Well,
listens to
we've
them.
had enough audience
Is
members like
anyone else guilty of that?
when you and I are going, talking about something, it's one thing, but when that many people message us and say the same thing, I'm like, all right, maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, my pride's going down. I guess I'm
Pride
always
is going
right
down.
again.
So, anyways, yeah,
Oh, well,
thanks
so,
for all your
well, hold
responses, and
on.
a lot of them were pretty funny too.
Well, the one that's listening that didn't hear that podcast that has like, what are you talking about right now? Me and Nick like have this thing in our marriage where like I try not to like we're at a point in our marriage where I'm like, I'm not gonna let stupid things bug me. I'm just gonna let it go. It's not worth it. It's so small that it shouldn't even matter, right? But there's little things in your marriage that you're like, that kind of bugs. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut for the peace, right? But every time he loads the dishwasher, he puts the forks facing up. And yeah, like I'm like, okay, it just doesn't make sense to me, but we've done research on it. Anyway, so then I was just like, this makes no
Hold
sense
on.
because hold
You've
on.
done research on it?
I have done
Oh,
research on
okay.
this to try and find
I
the
didn't know it
answer.
was that serious to go into doing research.
Well, I was just like, why am I bugged by this? I want to know why I'm bugged by things, okay? So then, like, we have this discussion in our marriage because I'm like, put them down. They're gonna get cleaner, and then you're not grabbing the handles when you pull them out. And I'm sorry, I'll make this quick because we already talked about this. But he's like, no, I was always taught you put them up. So then we end up at his mom's house like a few months later,
That
weeks
sounds
later.
exactly like me. The voice you just used.
What is
No, no.
that is
That
your
sounds
voice.
exactly like
That's
me.
exactly what you said. And we're at his mom's. She's like, oh yes, absolutely. Forks definitely go up. And I'm like, well, that's where I learned it. Like, okay, that makes sense, right? So we're not going to have an argument over this. Still couldn't like wrap my mind around why when you go pull out the silverware, you would touch it with your dirty hands because Nick doesn't wash his hands before he empties the dishwasher. I watch him.
Oh, it's
And he admits it.
my hands are
And so now I've
so
got
clean.
Jeremy nasty hands all over the things I'm about to eat with, okay? He puts them away, touches the tops. So, anyways, this was the conversation. So we asked our audience in that, like, please write us, tell us what you think about it. And a couple people were on Nick's side.
A couple, a couple people were on my side, and
And
a slew
a
of
few
people
people
were not
but
on my
some
side.
people said, hey, what I was actually taught the way that Nick does it, but that actually makes sense that, yeah, you wouldn't want to grab it with your dirty hands and then put it away and touch all the tops. But some people were saying they get cleaner when they go down. I'm like, well, that's where the water is spraying. And we see, it makes a difference in every marriage too, because like I wash my forks and my silverware really good. I get everything off of them before I put them in the dishwasher. So they're just getting that soapy It's not like cleaning them. You guys might not do that when you load the dishwasher. Anyways,
I'm just,
thank you for your comments. It created some really
look
good
at look at
conversations.
Amy's smile, how big it is. She
It's
is
not
look
like one kind of thing.
oh, look at her smile. Thank you for your
Thank you
comments.
for your
I
comments.
loved them. They were great. No, actually, I thought they were great too. I responded to most of them and I'm like, oh man.
No, I loved the guy that wrote and he said, I actually agree with Nick on how to do it, but I understand her point, and this is a solution for you guys. He's like, Nick, wash your hands and then dump everything out on a clean towel and then put them away. If you want them washed that way, then lay them out on the table and then put them away. So you're not touching that part of the fork. Anyways, problem solved. We'll see if Nick does it, but probably
Problem
not.
solved because I'm gonna start doing it the right way. So problem is
I
solved.
think that there's no right or wrong way. It's just not grabbing the part
Oh,
you're going to eat with.
if it makes you happy, there's a right way.
Not about my happiness, it's about yours too. It makes you happy to put them the other direction.
So, anyways, yeah, no, that's
Okay,
thank you for messaging us. We were laughing, we got a kick out of it,
we got a kick out of
and we got a lot
every
of
message that
messages.
we got was which was awesome. So that my whole point of that was I should have you can message us after this podcast too and let us know your thoughts, but I should have taken a poll because I think this was
Oh,
going to
we
be
totally
like
should
the
have taken
same
a
kind of
poll.
podcast.
Totally should have.
Okay, so if you're on social media, and if you're not, that's even better. But if you are, and that's great, you'll see a lot of those viral videos from some of the marriage accounts that like the husband sitting in the backyard on a chair and the wife has a hose and she asks him, is this princess treatment or is this bare minimum? And if he answers wrong and he says that's princess treatment and it really should be a bare minimum,
He gets squirt.
oh, she sprays him.
Oh, well,
Okay.
he's gonna answer every question right.
Well, hopefully they don't tell him what's going to happen.
He's gonna answer all the questions,
He's
even
gonna
if
start
that's
saying bare minimum to
oh,
everything,
absolutely, yeah.
right? A good man is like bare minimum, definitely bare minimum. I'm here to argue the other point. Like a lot of the things that I have on this list, I'm like, that's princess treatment. And Nick was like, oh, I thought that was bare minimum. I'm like, what a good guy. What a good guy.
That's how I roll.
So we're gonna and I don't want it to just be about the princesses in the marriage. I want it to be about the princes too, because men have needs too. And I think that we try to do a really good job on this podcast talking about both sides.
Love it.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. We do a good job on. That's why we're a husband and wife team.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
share my insights and my uh
Knowledge.
knowledge, my vast knowledge of 23 years. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put you on the spot. What is the definition of prince or princess treatment versus bare minimum in marriage?
I would say I don't want to say princess and prince is high maintenance, but I would say those are things that are like, well, I don't know. How do I say this?
That's what I would
Hold
love
on.
your answer. You can think about it.
Yeah, let me think about it, this podcast, because if I am I you don't have a hose out, right?
Nope.
Okay, we're doing this in the studio. There's
Nope.
no hose.
Okay, you had a minute, a second. Okay, go.
Why don't you tell me what you
You
think they
don't know?
are?
Are you saying you don't know?
Well, so I think normally you'd think like a princess mode or a prince mode would be like,
I'm not talking like
pampering
real
and
loyalty, but
bringing
yeah.
flowers and, doing those things, but I also feel like those should just be done. So I'm
Oh,
conflicted. So is that a trick question? I really don't know.
I don't know. Let's find out. So I'm gonna list some things and you tell me if you feel like that's princess treatment, and then we'll talk about the men. If you think it's princess treatment or bare minimum in marriage.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Bare minimum is like just things that you should be doing,
You
right?
just should be like it's just common sense. Like, yeah, I should be doing that just because.
Okay.
Okay.
What passing grade do I need to pass?
There's no passing
Oh.
grade, just a conversation. Okay, so surprises her with flowers.
I'm gonna say that's something you should just do every once in a while. But most people are gonna say that's princess mode or
Treatment.
princess
Yeah,
treatment. But I
princess
would
mode.
say a good husband should do that every once in a while.
What's every once in a while? Maybe is the question.
It's different for every couple. So you made it very clear to me. I don't want you buying me flowers because Amy just planted a forest of flowers in the
I
backyard.
did.
And she's like,
That's because I didn't
I
get
can
them
go
yet.
pick my own flowers. So the other day when I was out messing with the flowers, I had a rash all over my arm and I was sneezing. Um,
Don't mess with my flowers.
so anyways, yeah, she said, "Don't buy me flowers. I got my own flowers." So now I'm in a kind of a conundrum. Like,
No, because there's other things I like. So you don't have to, it doesn't have to be flowers. A lot of women don't even like flowers. So they're sitting there thinking, like, no, I don't want those.
yeah, so that's my point.
So
Is like
just
every
a
couple is going
nice
to be
gift
different.
that means something to
Whatever
you.
that, yeah.
Whatever that is that princess treatment or is that bare minimum?
I think that should be bare minimum. But most people would
Okay.
say that's probably princess treatment.
I'm actually the woman in the marriage, obviously, and I would say that's more princess treatment. I think like bare minimum maybe like on Valentine's Day. But I do think when you step it up, that's more, and this scale system, bare
Okay,
minimum.
I
I
see
mean,
where
there's
you're
going to
going.
be a scale system here. This isn't like this is only bare minimum. This is only princess treatment. Like some people are going to feel like that's bare minimum. Some people are going to feel like it's like we're all going to think
Can
differently
I
of this,
change my
right? You
answer?
can change your
I think
answer,
that's princess treatment.
and then
I see where you're going.
you're going to say, but you're my princess, so
You're my
yeah,
princess,
yeah,
so that's the way I treat
yeah.
you. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
I think that a lot of husbands are, depending on their romance scale, are going to probably think that's princess treatment.
For sure.
But I like on Valentine's Day, bare minimum, guys, bare minimum, right? And find out what she likes. That's what's princess treatment is finding out like knowing her and knowing what she loves, not just buying her flowers, being like Nick will come home with a thing of raspberries, and I'm like, that is so romantic, princess treatment.
I
He's
well taken.
speechless.
Well taken. That's
Okay,
noted.
writing your wife love notes.
Well, I was gonna say that probably considered princess treatment, but I think you should do that.
I think that's princess treatment, and I think if you are madly in love with your wife, which you hopefully are, that you would like more consider that just something you should do. But I think for the most part, people don't do that very often, so that's probably a
Yeah,
princess
write her
treatment.
a love note that's just gonna like make her just
Like a
blush.
sexy note
Oh
or a
yeah.
romantic note,
Both. Both.
depending on your wife. If you know her, you'll know what she needs, right? Um, okay, plans a really romantic over the top date night.
That's I would say that's princess mode again, or prince mode,
Princess, not
but
prince.
princess, yes, sorry, princess. But again, as a husband, you should be doing that once in a while.
So I would scale this
Do you
and
see a theme here
what is it?
in my answers?
You've been raised really, really well. Actually, no, your parents never did anything for each other. They're divorced.
Yeah. So yeah,
You have been taught well by
I've been
a
taught
wife.
well,
This marriage business has taught well. We do a lot of research. We talk to a lot of people, and I think we grow because of that.
for
So I'm
sure.
not
No,
taking any credit for
absolutely.
sure.
No, I'm a better husband because of what we do. No
For sure.
question. Like we hear tons of feedback. We have people email us. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, or I
Mhm.
should be doing that. So I truly do grow as a person.
Well, and I do think too that when you can start having really good conversations in your marriage, you can be like, hey, this would mean a lot to me if you did this, or it really hurts my feelings when you don't do this, or I love it when you do this. Thank you when I think the more
So
conversations you have, the more you learn how to treat each other, you know?
so I can't just say you should know what I want or know what I need. I shouldn't
No,
have to tell
no,
you.
you have to talk. You have to talk. And I think too, after 23 years of being married, I think that, and I always say this, you learn how to treat people, you teach people how to treat you. And so a lot of these things are, hey, I really like this. I mean, having this conversation, like I don't like the word expect. I expect you to like treat me like this, but like I love it when you treat me like this, and it makes your spouse want to do it more often and
For
and,
sure.
and be more bare minimum, right? So
Yeah,
don't worry, we're
absolutely.
gonna get into the guys. Don't quit yet. We're gonna get into the guys. Gives massages or rubs her feet.
Definitely princess mode, but also you should be doing that.
Mode.
Princess, what's the word?
Treatment.
Treatment. Sorry. Yeah,
What's
what am
princess
I doing?
mode?
What am I thinking? Princess treatment. But
Really?
yeah, princess treatment, yeah. But that should be something that you also do regularly.
I feel like Nick is like Prince treatment. I'm gonna rub her feet so that she'll pay me back later.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Amy's like, I know what it means when you say, "Hey, babe, you want a back rub?" Um,
I know exactly what that means. Okay, opens doors, pulls out chairs, treats her with
Oh,
chivalry.
that should just be stuff you do.
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I agree
absolutely.
with that one. I opening doors, like not every single door. Like, yeah, we can get our door, but like on date night or like when you're going in a restaurant or a store or something, like at least
All right. Here's maybe a way to look at it. And
okay.
maybe I'm smoking something, but you're you if you're doing things that should just be like part of your lifestyle, right? Like because you're raised a certain way or you feel a certain way, like just opening the doors and
Mhm.
treating your wife that way, like that should be like a lifestyle, right? It shouldn't
I hope
be,
so.
there's certain things I think that are kind of above and beyond. You do special times, you do once in a while, and I think those are the princess things, or prince things. And then there's the things that, you just should be doing to be because you're a good spouse, and those are probably the
Right.
bare minimums, right? That's the way I look at it,
I,
right?
yeah,
Like to
yeah,
me, I don't even think about opening the door or doing those things. I just do it, right? Like to
yeah.
me, that's just like I'm gonna do this for my wife.
You're
So,
just a good man.
well, but
And if
again, I
a
think,
woman and if a woman was walking behind us and we went like say Target or something and he opened the door, he would open it for any woman. Like you're just a good guy like that.
yeah, to me, that's just I don't even think
Yeah.
about it. I
Yeah.
just that's what you do, right?
That's what you do.
It's bare
So
minimum.
hopefully that's bare minimum. Yeah.
So yeah,
Agreed.
I guess what I'm saying is I think bare minimum in marriage is just like things that you should be doing. You don't really have to think about it. Just and everyone's bare minimum is going to look different.
It's absolutely
Some
gonna look
people are going to
different.
say, "Oh, I'd never do that," and other people are like, "Yeah, absolutely." So and that's
Right.
okay too.
Right. No, agreed. Agreed. Whatever works for your relationship. Okay. Send loving texts or compliments to your spouse throughout the day.
Throughout the day, that's
Or just you send a text during the day.
yeah. I mean, again, it's a tough
In the
one.
middle,
That's in the
depend on
middle.
how
Yeah.
many you're sending and when, how often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yes. How many you're sending and how often? Yeah.
Nick's
Because that could
probably,
like
yeah.
that could go to princess.
It depending on what you're saying and how often could go up to princess level
Yep.
or bare minimum. Hopefully most spouses are doing this every
Bare
once in a while
minimums,
anyways, right?
obviously checking in, making sure they're good.
Yeah. Right. Um, anticipates her needs, runs errands,
That's bare
does stuff
minimum.
for her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bare minimum.
Am I missing anything on the list? That's kind of what I got. I guess bare minimum I have on the list is does parts they're part of the chores, says I love you
Okay.
all every day, spends time together,
And I would say emotional and sexual intimacy is bare minimum. I don't think you put those into, you know,
talks to your wife, bare minimum.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are just general and important, and it
Mhm.
shouldn't be like something special to make love to your spouse or to have a deep conversation. Like those things should just be happening. There shouldn't be any expectations or maybe that's not, yeah, from a spouse, like, oh, you have to do all these things before we're gonna, be intimate or whatever. Like, I
So
think
you're getting back to the you shouldn't have to be at a princess level treatment in order to want to be intimate with your
correct.
spouse.
Absolutely
That's a good
correct.
point to make. We have
And
podcasts,
I
lots on
think,
that.
yeah, and I think if you listen to podcasts a lot, you know that we've talked about that before, where some spouses are like, well, until you hit this bar
Hmm.
that oftentimes is almost unsustainable,
Right.
until you hit that bar, we're just not gonna knock boots.
So, so coming off of talking about the women's side, it's really important. And we did the podcast episode when you feel like intimate time feels like a moving target in your marriage,
Yeah.
that bar's always getting raised, you know? It's important for women to understand like if he treats you a princess treatment, which is awesome, good for you, can't keep raising that bar. You can't get used to it and then expect more and more and more in order to, you know what I mean? And we're going to talk about the guy's side. So,
Okay, and I think just to get simple before you jump into that, like again, everyone's marriage is going to look different. Like
right.
what the expectations are, or for princess mode, so to speak, or bare minimum, might look totally different for our marriage versus someone else's. And the key to that is to talk about those things.
Mhm.
Like sit down and talk about and say, hey, what are like the minimum things in our marriage that we really need from each other,
Mhm.
and have those discussions. You'll probably learn a lot.
I think it'd be really great for couples to sit down and be like, here's my list of bare minimum, here's princess treatment. Like, obviously there's a scale in between, but what do you feel like is bare minimum and what so that you are kind of on the same scale, right? because you can see in our conversation, we never really talked about this until like literally right now. But a lot of things I'm thinking princess treatment, he's like, no, that's bare minimum. Like that says a lot about you. And we're gonna jump into the man side. I hope
Well,
I'm
and
the
what if
same
you
way
were
on your
feeling,
side.
well, again, and what if I was saying, oh, it's totally princess mode, and you were saying, no, I feel like that's
Oh, that should
something
be
that
a bare
should,
minimum. Yeah,
yeah. So you could see
you're
how it
right.
could cause some disconnect or conflict, things
And
like
that's
that.
why the whole thing with the social media videos, a lot of men were saying, well, that's princess treatment. It's like, what the heck? That's full on bare minimum. Every woman, every man should know. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that
having
was
the
the purpose of the video.
conversation.
Exactly.
So like the way you were raised, what you saw with your family, like we all bring in, our past into marriage. And it's like, oh, when we first got married, the whole flowers thing, he's like, oh, well, I never saw my dad and my wife have any of that kind of affection or hold hands or give each other stuff. Like he just didn't see that. And to me, I was like, that's bare minimum because my
Yeah.
dad did all that stuff for my wife, for my mom. And we had to have those conversations a lot our first year of marriage.
No, and I've definitely evolved, right? Like, because
Right.
like you said, like I never saw that. So when we got into marriage, like I remember the first Valentine's Day, I didn't give Amy flowers or anything. And it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a jerk. I just like growing up,
Didn't
I
see it.
never saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Amy's like, that's important to me. And I saw my parents do that, and we had to have that talk. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I
I didn't
didn't
get it.
realize that,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
now I'm able to, you know, be a much better person and more thoughtful and understand what her needs are and vice versa.
So let's jump into the guy's needs. Ready? Because
Oh yeah.
there is no princess without it. I'm sorry. Like it goes prince and it goes princess. Both spouses' needs are equally important. So we're gonna dive into he's treating you like this. I hope you're treating him like this back, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
And I'm not gonna just say the whole list is initiate with him, initiate with him,
You just
initiate
have
with
one
him,
thing on
and
the list.
just
Yeah.
one thing. Just do that. You're king
Actually, the
treatment.
list is probably going to be a little shorter.
Is it? That's
Probably,
because it's just
yeah.
going to be initiating? No.
No, it's
Okay.
no, but
No,
I mean,
I'm
I
just
think
joking.
we've talked about this before, and some people might have disagree with me, but I would say the majority of men, not all, because I'm going to have people yelling at me, but the majority of men, I think, are fairly easy to please. Not all,
I,
but the
for the
majority.
most part, yeah. Okay. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Flirts with him, compliments him, makes him feel desired.
Yeah, I think that's bare minimum. I
I
Every
I
husband
agree
wants that,
with you.
right?
I
Like,
agree with you, but for some reason after doing this for 7 years, I feel like so many women think that's like prince treatment.
yeah, for sure, for
If
sure.
you want a passionate marriage, like that really should be a bare minimum. Like you have to keep the passion alive in your marriage too. It's not all on his shoulders.
I love
Yeah.
that. I think you're exactly right. Because I would say 30 or 40 years ago, it was always the guy pursuing the wife, and that's kind of the way things were.
And I still think it
But
should be a chunk of that.
yeah, and I
But
would still say it's a chunk of that. But I think nowadays men are often so nervous to pursue their spouse for fear of rejection and so many different things.
yeah.
It's different nowadays. It really just is, and that doesn't mean it's bad or good. It's just different.
But if we really think about this subject and we're like, okay, he's treating you like princess treatment, like he's just trying to spoil you because he loves you, spoil him back. Like that's where a passionate marriage comes from, right? That's
Well,
where a passionate marriage comes from, is both people trying to spoil each
and
other.
what I don't understand is I think almost everyone out there, no one's going to say, yeah, I don't want to have a good marriage, right?
Right.
Everyone wants to have a good
Right.
marriage,
For the most
for
part.
the most part, right? If you're in a healthy relationship. So I don't understand why couples don't do exactly what you're saying and pursue each other more and have fun, because naturally that's going to just make you have such a better
Mhm.
marriage and be so much closer. And I understand there's a lot of things um, that are in between, like, oh, my emotional needs are not being met, or he's dropping the ball here, or whatever.
Right.
I get that, but if you're still pursuing each other and just trying to serve each other, like that's going to change everything. It really is.
I like that you brought that up, and I know we talk about this a lot, but I think more women, like if you treated him like desiring him and showing him affection was bare minimum, you would see the emotional connection completely turn around in the marriage. I
You
know we state that all the time, but it's
you
so
totally
true.
would.
When I
Totally would.
show Nick that he's desired, even if I'm not in the mood, but I'm like, hey, I would love to be intimate tonight, and he's like, wait, what? Like he just turns around as a man. Like not that you're already not already awesome, but a man is
But
like And so many thousands of husbands have agreed and admitted, like, I become a new man when my wife does that. Or if my wife would do that, the emotional intimacy would be so much higher. I would just be grinning from ear to ear, like his whole demeanor, right?
Yeah, because I now feel loved and desired, and I'm like, oh yeah, not only likes me, she loves me, right?
Right,
Like, and
right.
I feel, I don't know what it is, and I'm sure most men feel this way, but there's just something about it, like when that happens, you automatically just feel really safe and secure in your marriage,
Hmm.
right?
Men need that too.
Versus when things are going a long time, you're kind of like, man,
Does she
what's
love
going
me?
on? Does she love me? Like, or things off. But
Right.
the second she does that, we're like, all right, everything's safe, everything's secure, we're together, this is great. And I'm
Mhm.
sure most men would agree with me.
Right. I agree. Um, Next one, cooks his favorite meals or surprises him with like his favorite meal, like a really nice meal. Bare minimum, Prince treatment.
I would say that can probably be Prince treatment a little bit because
I would say bare minimum. Like I try to cook for you a nice meal
I
for you
mean,
all the time. Like it's
but
not that it's my job. We both work. It's not like,
there's a lot
but
of
I
other
just,
factors like kids and having to think about the kids. What do they like to eat? I mean, we face that a lot in our marriage,
mm,
right? Like if
yeah,
Amy and I, if it was just the two of us, we'd be eating a lot different than we're eating now
really?
because we
Really?
have, well, like the kids are like, we want hamburgers tonight, or we want, whatever. So
You love hamburgers.
I do, but I'm just saying, like,
I don't think it would
um,
be much different, but I still think that making your spouse a nice meal once in a while should be bare minimum. I don't think that that's like, oh, I cooked you a nice meal. Like we do
okay.
nice
Oh,
things for each
I'm
other,
understanding. I thought you meant like cooking a special nice meal versus just no normal meals every
but
night.
even just a special nice meal once in a while, like
Oh, I
that
feel
should
like
still
okay.
be bare minimum, though. Like
Can I go back? I misunderstood the question.
maybe I said it confusing. Your favorite meal, if I was to go all out and spend hours making your favorite meal, which
That would be
sometimes I try to
that'd be
do,
above and beyond. Like,
do you
cause
think
yeah, cause days get hectic, and I'm like,
every day is
I don't
hectic for
expect that. I'm
everybody,
just
though?
happy to.
Yeah. It's not expected. It's just nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's gonna look different to everyone. Dress us up or just like gets really ready for like a date night or just gets really ready for when you come home. Just appearance, just like I want to look so nice for you.
Yeah,
Bare minimum or Prince treatment.
I think that's bare minimum. Like, hopefully, I mean, I want to look nice to you. I mean,
I don't know. I just that's probably depends
I
on
mean,
the couple. Maybe that means nothing to him, so he doesn't
well, and
care.
that could be a total sliding scale. I mean, if you're saying, "Oh, I'm gonna dress up like, go spend hours," you know what I
I will,
mean?
yeah.
I mean,
Most men
there's
don't
those
care. Yeah.
expectations, right?
Right.
You're beautiful to me regardless. So,
Well, they did polls and they
you know,
say most men are attracted to women with less makeup and less like a lot of husbands are like, my wife's hot just in their sweatpants and no makeup and a messy bun, right? So that's gonna look different
100%.
to
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah. Plans thoughtful surprises like an event he loves or some special outing or maybe a romantic date night. She plans it. Would that
Yeah.
be bare minimum or would that be Prince treatment?
No, I think that's Prince treatment.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because it's more the guy's job, or what do you feel on that?
No, I just think to me, if you did that, I would feel like it's something really special. Like
Okay.
I wouldn't it to me it wouldn't be just like, yeah, I expect her to do that, right?
Right.
And I think as a husband, if I look at something from that point of view, that would determine whether that's like, you know,
Mm,
Prince treatment or just something every day. So
okay.
like and I would look if you did and you have done something like that, right?
Well,
To
not very often, but
No,
yeah.
but when
Like
you did
you
that, I
keep
was like,
talking
oh
about
my
it.
heck, this is amazing. That was wonderful. Like, and
Yeah.
that was the greatest trip we've ever had. Whereas if I was expected, I'd be like, yeah, I expect you to do that,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
there wouldn't be much gratitude in there and things like
So
that.
maybe if someone does that all the time, it's not going to feel so special. But if it's an every once in a while thing that you don't usually do in your marriage, where she buys a concert ticket or she
Yeah,
plans this really nice dinner or something, maybe that doesn't happen, then it's going to feel like Prince treatment. But maybe these Prince treatment things maybe need to happen a little more often. Maybe
for
they need
sure.
to become more of a bare minimum, you know?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say princess or prince treatment. I mean, we kind of make it sound like it's a bad thing or high
No, it's a
maintenance,
great
right?
thing. Yeah.
What we're saying in this podcast, like that's a great thing. Like we're not
Hmm.
saying it's high maintenance. We're saying that's the way you should treat each other.
I would love, I would love for every wife to say, my husband treats me like a princess. And I would
Absolutely.
love every husband. I don't know that they want to be called a prince. Sorry, I should have said king treatment, king and queen. I think every husband would love to be like, my wife treats me like a king. Wow. Like I'm so spoiled. Like that's the whole point is like, how can we spoil each other better? Because I think the entire point is like in our stage of life, and a lot of people, especially when kids are younger, we talk to people of all ages and then like they get stuck in that routine. That's the problem with marriages. And I've seen a lot of quotes say it's not the huge fights, it's not the big issues, it's the little tiny daily silence, the lack of effort, the lack of daily community, that fun, that passion, that's what kills a marriage. And so, like, if we can get the mentality, hey, let's start spoiling each other, let's treat each other like royalty. You know what I mean? In the sense in our marriage where we both feel spoiled, like that's what's going to keep it
Well,
passionate.
yeah, and your marriage is going to go to another level, right?
Right.
Like, and also it's so important to be grateful. Like when your spouse is doing whatever for you, just be
Mhm.
grateful and show that appreciation. And
I'm glad
that'll
you said that because someone's not going to want to keep doing
instead
something if
of
you act like it's expected, right?
exactly. So instead of just expecting like, oh, it should just be done every day. Why do I need to thank you? Like, just be appreciative of everything. Like, no matter what it is. I think it's so
Absolutely.
important.
Absolutely. Um, okay, here's bare minimums, I think, on the list for the wife to give. Handles household basics, offers occasional affection but minimal effort, communicates mainly about just responsibilities, rarely initiates intimacy or romance, and little effort or doesn't really make spouse feel super appreciated. I think those can all fall under the daily grind of we just kind of forgot how to spoil each other.
Yeah,
Like our communications kind of ground level, like how was your day? How was your day? What do the kids need? What do whatever, you know, blah blah blah. Instead of, hey, let's grab the Ultimate Intimacy app and jump on the conversation starters and like let's have some really awesome, fun conversation starters about where we're going, what we enjoy, what we want to do together.
for
Like
sure.
that is another level,
Totally agree.
right?
Totally agree.
Or the whole household. So we just barely did our last episode on scorekeeping in marriage and how to kind of like get the scorekeeping mentality out of your relationship, right? And just all these like just basic things that are kind of like putting a wedge in your marriage because you're just like, daily grind, daily tasks, kids, parenting. Parenting should be fun. Marriage should be fun. Like I was looking at our kids the other day. I'm like, gosh, they're moving out. They're starting to move out. They're growing up so fast. My daughter's now a senior. We're gonna lose our second kid this year to
Crazy.
moving out. And I'm just like, this is supposed to be so much fun. The days that I'm not having fun parenting, how do I change my attitude and make it more fun? Like it's limited. And same with your marriage, right? Like it's like our main quote is marriage shouldn't be mediocre.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun. So have these conversations like how can I spoil you and how and vice versa. How can we make it passionate
Well,
again?
and I think the sad thing is we're just taught that when you get married, like things are going to get boring
Yeah.
and sex is going to go downhill. Like we
Mhm.
just that's just kind of what um everything portrays, right? Like that's
Right.
just the way it is, and so we assume that's the way it is, but it isn't, and it doesn't need to be that way. Like your marriage, we talk to couples and they're like, "Oh, our marriage just gets better and better and better," right? And I
Mhm.
feel like that's been our marriage as well, for sure.
Learning and
And
growing.
yeah, so instead of just settling and using that as an excuse, like no, your marriage can continue to get better with time and with age. And that's
Mhm.
what we're trying to teach and everything that we do and all the podcasts and everything we share.
So to just wrap this up, the whole point of this podcast is to not make someone feel guilty or I'm not doing enough or the expectations are too low or they're too high, whatever. The whole point is in your marriage, if you're feeling kind of stagnant, which like 90% of couples that we talk to, like that's kind of the problem
Yeah.
in their relationship is like we're fine, but we're just kind of stagnant. Talk about this. Talk about bare minimum versus like royalty treatment in your marriage. Be like, I would love more of this. I would love more of this. I would feel so desired if you did more of this. And it goes both ways. And if you have those conversations, which is why we literally created the app with the games, with the conversation starters, just with the private chat feature where you can send your spouse spicy texts. You can
Yep.
get on there and play the romance game and get those flirting feelings back and get tons of tips from experts. That's like literally why we created it was to like get on there and do daily challenges and like make your marriage better because it dies when the intention and the effort dies. That's when it
Yeah.
dies.
Very well said. 100% agree.
That's all I got.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And so, like I said, everything we always talk about in the podcast is to try to help make your marriage better. We share experiences that we we've gone through or that we see other couples go through, or the feedback that you provide, and have great discussions. So hopefully this can be a fun episode that can help you just strive to be a little bit better and do a little bit better and give a little bit more in your relationship.
And
So,
we love getting emails like our last ones.
oh
We got a
yeah.
ton. We love reading them. So if you want to write us in and be like, this is how I feel, we'd love to hear it.
Yep, Amy at ultimateintimacy.com. Appreciate you listening. And until next time, we hope all of you find ultimate intimacy in your relationship.